The important thing this time around is to make sure that everybody in our district is well aware of what we're trying to do to explain the importance of trying to put up a new building.
Back in October, we told you about how voters in the Mapleton School District rejected a $7.2 million school bond referendum. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Mike has the evening off. Tonight, organizers held a community meeting in Mapleton to discuss some of the building options. Valley News Team's Giovanna Simic tells us what changes would come if voters passed the bond referendum and how people who live there are reacting to it.
Voters in the Mapleton School District have another chance to vote for a school bond referendum that would help improve the building. This time around, the school district held informative meetings for community members to know what they are voting for or against.
It wasn't very clear to a lot of us, and I think a lot of people didn't know what they were voting for.
More than 50% of voters said yes last time, but 60% was needed for the referendum to pass. The current Mapleton school is 92 years old and is in need of a lot of improvements.
If we can get people behind us realizing that our children should have the same opportunities as others with the newer building, and we realize if we can do that what a lift it would be for our kids, but also the community.
The old school definitely cannot stand for another 10 years. It's weathered its time, and we just need to go ahead and proceed with a new school.
The school district is also hoping to build a new school because the city of Mapleton keeps growing.
We have a possibility of 150 new rooftops coming up here in the next few years. And with that, and if we get a percentage of those kids, then we will run out of room.
According to the Mapleton School District website, the taxes on a $100,000 home would jump $200 a year, from $327 to $532. That's about $17 more a month.
If my taxes have to go up for my kids to go to a good school, then that's what I got to do.
In Mapleton, Giovanna Simic, Valley News Live.
The vote on the bond referendum is scheduled for March 29th from 11 in the morning until 7 at night in the school gym. Don Palmier, the Enderlin man who was living in a condemned house, filed an appeal to the city's decision to condemn his home. However, the city's decision stands because a district court judge dismissed Palmier's appeal, saying the city followed all of the ordinances and due process leading up to the condemnation of the home. In December, we first told you about Palmier. He bought a house only to find out a few weeks later that the city of Enderlin had decided the house he was living in was inhabitable. Palmier says he will continue to work on the house and plans on having it up to city standards by the August 2016 deadline. A whistleblower from a South Fargo medical office contacted us saying she and her staff are fed up over issues with HealthNet, a company contracted through the VA to help veterans schedule appointments. Vanessa Heil says the other day her secretary spent 4 hours on the phone trying to correct appointments and information. It has taken weeks and even months to actually get veterans in the door for treatment, and they're still waiting for payment from claims filed in November of last year. Heil says she has even had a male patient who was mistakenly scheduled for an appointment at a gynecologist's office.
The government VA should find a different third party because of the health nets prove they can't handle it. They've actually scheduled a patient for orthopedic care at a veterinarian's office before.
It's an issue not lost on North Dakota Senator John Hoeven, who says the current state of things is unacceptable and he won't stop until they're fixed. North Dakota Senator Heidi Heitkamp also supports changing the system, making it more efficient by letting vets deal directly with the VA facility in Fargo. This story came to us through our Whistleblower Hotline. If you need help uncovering an issue in your community, here's some advice. Give us a call at 237-6578-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. A section of Interstate 29 is one of many roads that will face construction this season, but this one is expected to take a couple years before it's all done. There's a proposal to raise Interstate 29 to help with flood protection in Fargo. The project is at Drain 27, which is in the area of 36th Street Southwest to 38th Street Southwest in Fargo. That's near Mills Fleet Farm and 52nd Avenue. That part of I-29 will eventually be torn out completely and raised about 6 feet to meet the flood level protection elevation. Tonight, a public meeting was held to discuss that project. It's expected to cost anywhere from $14 to $20 million. Initial construction on the interstate will start this season as crews work to add crossovers.
The crossovers, so when we close one lane at a time, the crossovers, enabling people to cross from the northbound to the southbound lane and vice versa, will be constructed this summer. Next summer will be the big project with the actual tearing up of the interstate and raising the grades and putting the levee in and so forth.
The crossovers are only being constructed this summer. They will not be used until the big project begins in the summer of 2017. So it's not $2 a gallon, but drivers have likely noticed the upward creep in fuel prices across Minnesota. GasBuddy.com says the average retail price for a gallon of gas jumped 10.3 cents just in the past week. GasBuddy.com says the average in Moorhead is $1.74. On the North Dakota side, it's $1.59. Sanford Health has developed a first-of-its-kind intensive program in North Dakota for kids dealing with feeding disorders. The new program treats kids from ages 2 to 12 years old who are dealing with a complex set of feeding and swallowing problems, ones that go far beyond being a picky eater. Symptoms include refusal to eat, weight loss, regular coughing or gagging during meal times, or being unable to eat age-appropriate foods. Most of the kids in this kind of program, do not accept food by mouth, use a G-tube, or take supplements. A team of doctors works with them to build a plan to develop regular eating habits. In addition to the child learning, parents also learn how to help their kids.
When I ask, do you dread mealtime? And not just the, oh, I don't know what to make today, but I don't know if my child's going to eat. I don't know if we're going to be able to get anything in them and be able to escape something like a G-tube down the road. So it's usually high levels of stress, and it's patterns of this behavior that last long term. It's not just a few week period. This is something that's been going on for months, if not years.
Sanford Health says most parents know if they do have a child with feeding disorders, but if you do have concerns, you should start with your pediatrician. A local pastor won big on Wheel of Fortune tonight. Eric Renner from Hawley, Minnesota, appeared on the show earlier, and including the trip to Cabo San Lucas he won for himself and his wife, he took home more than $20,000. The viewing party was held at Shepherd of the Prairie Church, where Eric is the pastor. Just last week, he got a benign brain tumor removed, topping off what's been an equally hectic and happy time in his life.
I look back at everything, and while everything has been such a whirlwind and everything has just been go, 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 I wouldn't trade a minute of it.
And be sure to watch Wheel of Fortune tomorrow, because another person from the Valley will be spinning the wheel.